Thank you for having me at the 2021 Global Inclusive Growth Summit. This is a timely conversation about the work we need to do together to ensure our economic recovery reaches everyone as we emerge from the COVID-19 pandemic. Since the start of this pandemic, Congress has provided over $4 trillion in relief to American families, businesses, and nonprofits, which has been instrumental in keeping our economy afloat. At the same time, the pandemic has highlighted cracks in the foundation of our economic, financial, and social systems. Too many of our people lack access to basic financial tools like savings and credit. This has hampered our ability to provide aid, including PPP loans or economic impact payments, to tens of millions of Americans, especially in households of color. We should work to bridge these gaps and create a fully inclusive financial system. What does that look like? The first step to achieving financial inclusion in the United States is access to basic services, basic financial services. But it can't stop there. We have to ensure all Americans can reap the benefits of these services as well. Ultimately, true financial inclusion will mean broad financial security characterized by widely shared prosperity. In Delaware, I've seen how this can work. Community Development Financial Institutions, or CDFIs, are offering individuals access to affordable and responsible tools for finance. Larger institutions are investing in our community through the Community Reinvestment Act and are prioritizing diversity in hiring and in their loan portfolios. At the federal level, multiple agencies such as Treasury's CDFI Fund, the Small Business Administration, and the CFPB are dedicating resources to help empower consumers and businesses in economically disadvantaged communities and to protect against unfair and abusive financial practices. These tools, these skills, these activities by federal and local government allow people to build their way toward financial security and help bring whole communities toward better financial inclusion. But we all have work to do to share these opportunities more broadly. To start, the United States lacks an overarching and coordinated national strategy for achieving greater financial inclusion. As of 2018, over 35 countries have implemented national financial inclusion strategies. So it's long past time the United States caught up. That's why I'm joining a diverse array of private sector, government, and nonprofit leaders, including MasterCard and the Aspen Institute, in calling for a presidential commission at the Department of Treasury tasked with creating a national interagency financial inclusion strategy. This commission would build on the Biden administration's work to create a more equitable economy going forward. And to be effective, the commission has to take a unified and cross-sectoral approach. In addition to working across federal agencies, the commission should bring in a diverse set of leaders with relevant experience in the nonprofit and private sectors and consult with those who are directly impacted by a lack of financial inclusion. The commission would do everything from cataloging existing efforts to evaluating how technology can be better utilized to improve outcomes for all Americans. Ultimately, the commission would devise a holistic financial inclusion strategy for the federal government to implement in close partnership with the financial services industry, community organizations, and nonprofits. This strategy would strengthen the financial well-being of millions of households and help ensure a robust and inclusive economic recovery. The United States can also be a leader and extend these efforts internationally to help people in the developing world work towards greater financial inclusion. As chair of the Appropriations Subcommittee that funds U.S. foreign aid, and as a member of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee, I've encouraged several administrations to work with governments, central banks, and financial institutions to build more inclusive, sustainable, and responsible financial systems abroad. I believe we should utilize recently developed tools like the International Development Finance Corporation, a relatively new federal agency that makes loans and investments to support development projects around the world. We also have a lot that we can learn from recent developments in lower developed countries. Africa, for example, is home to more digital financial services deployments than any other region in the world. In Kenya, a country where I was an undergraduate student, access to financial accounts through mobile money, through M-Pesa and many other providers, has helped lift 1 million people out of extreme poverty. This work is about innovative partnerships to increase prosperity, reduce inequality, and better connect people around the world. So as we begin to emerge from the COVID-19 pandemic, There's an opportunity in front of us to rebuild together in an equitable and inclusive way. It's time we do the work through a presidential commission on financial inclusion. I look forward to working together with the Biden administration and other leaders, including those gathered at this year's Global Inclusive Growth Summit, on establishing this important commission. Thank you again to the Aspen Institute and the MasterCard Center for Inclusive Growth for having me and for hosting this important conversation.